One, I'm very disappointed with my brother.
Who you graduated?
No, he was way ahead of me.
When we come to such a show, we must respect Kenyans by soberly looking at the issues at hand. Soberly. And especially when we know that millions of Kenyans are watching. It is important we come to such a show sober. Sober with facts, and especially when we have responsibility. And I want to start here. Number one is that there is no... my brother here is the chair of finance in the parliament today. If we read the VAT Act, section 6, part 1 and 2, it's very clear that we have to go to parliament now to lower VAT by more than 25%. The minister can only deal with around 25% of that. Secondly, I want to remind all of us, during Corona time or COVID, I was not neither chairman nor part of the budget committee. My brother here was also not even the chairman of the finance committee. So it's good that we lay the facts bare. Other people were taking responsibility. But we're also not running away from this responsibility. Number 3 is that we are talking about we removed the brokers in the fuel industry. And I agree. We removed the people who are dealing with the oil in the oil sector competitively, so that we consolidate the opportunity through G2G, so that the leadership of the country can profit out of the oil industry. And that is why in the same G2G he cited the company that handles 75% of the volumes, which is an instrument of patronage. They are the same people doing upstream oil in Turkana. That even the same oil he's talking about, Turkana oil, has been taken over as a personal property, as patronage, political patronage by leaders. The other point that I want to highlight is I keep hearing some hurabaloo, some bravado around exchange rate. And I'm talking about issues that Kenyans can verify today. I have heard here in this show, and I have heard previously from the people in government giving us some lecture. Oh, we reduced the dollar from, I don't know, 160 to 130. This is the fact, Jeff. During the day of election, and during the day of swearing in, the Kenya, which is 2022, when President Uhuru Kenyatta was president, the USD to Kenya shillings was 119 and 121 shillings respectively between the day of election and the day of swearing in. It is the same government through the syndrome I described earlier, which took the dollar to 160 in the year 2024. So you come here, make the situation so bad, and then you want to tell us you have made it better. The Kenya shillings was stronger in 2022 than now. And if you want to compare that, don't just use the dollar to give us semantics. Use the other global currencies. The dollar during the election day was 120. Is now around 130. Look at the euro. The euro was around 116. It's now around 150.
50, yeah.
Between 116 and 150. When is the shilling stronger? It is back then. The Great British pound, the Great Britain pound, the pound was 136 in the year 2022. It is now 174. So in such a crisis like this, the least you can do is to come on TV and purport to misinform Kenyans. Kenyans are learned. Anyone coming, especially from government apologists, they must come and face Kenyans at least with respect of facts.
The last word.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And I'll go back to, I think, the statement I started with, practical proposals. We must understand that we must take the decision now, invest our money, and stop the spiraling effect of higher fuel prices. That cannot be done by wishing. That can only be done by actual reduction of prices. And I gave 3 proposals which I want to reiterate now here in this show. One, I had given a proposal of reducing VAT, which we could knock off around 9 shillings, which has been done, but the process needs to continue in Parliament. The second thing we must do is that we must cut fuel levy, at the very least, by the 7 shillings that was added by the same government in 2024. That we must knock off. 3 is that there is something called subsidy. Subsidy is actually not money we allocate in the budget from the fiscus of the country. This is money that Kenyans have already contributed through the pump previously, through something called PDL, Petroleum Development Levy. Currently, we have around 17 billion. So the problem we are facing now in Kenya is temporary in nature. If you study the graph of 2022 during the Russia-Ukraine war, you realize that these kind of disruptions barely last for 3 months. Because in a matter of weeks, the world now starts looking for a solution, as it is happening now. Unfortunately, if you make the wrong decision now, the decision will be sticky. So when you increase prices based on the increment of oil, because oil is in every sector of the economy, once you actually do the actual increment, the spiraling starts immediately. For example, what my brother in the sector have already done, Boda sector did, and of course Ubers and the rest are planning to do, manufacturing and the rest. So the question that we must have as policymakers is, do we spend some little more money now through subsidy, more cuts, especially in fuel levy, or do we let the problem spiral? From where I sit, it is much cheaper in terms of quantum to invest actual money now to bring down the fuel prices today, so that at least we arrest the spiraling effect that is to come in the many days. The other thing that we must do is to relook at our excise tax, and I'm looking at these things which are low-lying fruits, so that at the very basic, we maintain our fuel prices. Beyond everything else you have said in this show, we must come to this grounding that, as I repeated before, fuel prices should not be more expensive now than they were in 2022 when global oil prices were higher. It therefore means the reason why our oil prices are higher has a percentage of, let's say, over 40%, which is our own creation in the last 3 years. And the points I've given is basically not asking for us to go more than we were in 2022. It is making 2022 the base. Base in terms of VAT, now it's 8%. If you have to think about something else, is to exempt it. But the last 2 points, which I'm just repeating out of the emphasis.
Yeah.
The fuel levy was 18 shillings then. We need to take it back there to 18 shillings. We knock off 7 shillings out of the pump. And then we can knock off 12 shillings by providing 5 billion extra for subsidy. So that at least in the intervening period, which will not last for too long, we do not disrupt our economy, which will give us a spiral effect in the many months to come on an issue we can deal with today. The very lastly, we have a choice to make as Kenyans. And that choice, it doesn't matter where we start. We have to confront it. We must detach. We must detach policy making and doing business.
All right.
And I want to repeat, Jeff, for avoidance of doubt, part of the additional cost Kenyans are paying, part of the shillings Kenyans are paying on top of what was there in 2022 in diesel and petrol, part of the increment in fuel prices is political rent through G2G. We may look whichever direction we may look at, but we must confront the fact that G2G is patronage. G2G is benefiting political leaders. G2G is a cabal to milk Kenyans. It doesn't matter, from which lenses you look at, history will vindicate us from this show.